Good morning, lovely souls. Hope you're all well. Thought I'd drop in and start again my Gemma Gems Wellness Wednesday. I wanted to just go through what's has been coming through for the last couple of weeks and really give you a bit of an energy update of what's happening and give you an idea of what you can do to empower yourself and your health and your well-being. So the key words that came up were detoxing and purification. Now, I know that might sound quite obvious. You know, we've come out of Christmas and New Year's where most people drink loads and eat loads and lots of sugar, and people come to the new year and decide, okay, I need to get clean and be healthier, etc., etc. However, this has been running through as a theme for quite some time. Purification has definitely been the word. And this isn't necessarily just physically, it's also emotionally, mentally, and energetically and spiritually. We are going through and being guided and encouraged to go through a detoxing, a purification of ourselves. And what that means isn't about just eating healthily. I mean, that is exceptionally important. I mean, pretty much everybody really knows that we need to drink more water, sugar isn't good for you, and we need to eat purer food, you know, more from the ground, the earth, rather than the processed and all the chemicals that get put into these foods. So I think by now we're much more intuitively and understanding with that awareness, this is what we need to be doing for ourselves. But we equally need to start looking at our emotions and our mental ways, our belief systems, our patterns that we act out in a day-to-day basis. Now, I've shared that, you know, our subconscious mind plays out for 99.9% of our thoughts and our actions, which is pretty much all the time. So we really need to be clear as to what our subconscious is up to. And I've likened it to like a little alien in the back of the head, our primal, our chimp brain, or whatever we want to call it, has these coordinates that's creating our thoughts, creating our patterns, creating our reactions to things. And we need to really understand more consciously what is happening here. And does it align to what we desire? Is it really bringing up what we want in our lives? Is it bringing us joy? Is it bringing us our health? And so we really need to check in with our subconscious very regularly. And we also need to decide what we want from life. What are we here for? There's real big questions for a Wednesday morning, I understand, but we are going through, and I can only explain this from more of an energetic and what I've seen is a huge transitioning process. 2024 is like the wave has completely gone out. We've seen the extremes of humanity. We've seen the war, we see greed, we see corruption, and how money is involved in abuse. We have seen the whole stage of humanity has been shown to us. And it's like the complete outbreath has met its point and is coming back in, and this wave is coming back in, and it's exceptionally powerful, and it's coming through to dislodge all the crap, all the shite, all the dregs of what has been humanity, which is fear. And it's bringing that out. It takes no prisoners. It's really just going to come through and just show everything for what it is, and it will have no root. It will have no place in where humanity is going. And that will come through us collectively and individually. And the only thing that we can really ever do is how we act and how we step out into the world. That's the only real control that we can ever have, is our intentions, our thoughts, and our actions. So we really need to come into honoring that and empowering those choices, that we're making, that they're more conscious. And this wave that's coming through, you can liken it to, it could be completely like rapids if you don't know your direction or how you choose to feel, not about what you think it looks like, but more how you desire to feel, whether that's love, joy, or peace. Or it's going to, it's like if it's going to feel, which will feel overwhelmed, it will feel anxiety, it will feel chaotic. Where if you've got your direction as to where you really choose to feel and how you want to feel and be in this world, and you don't quite necessarily know what that looks like, because our mind can only kind of compute what it's already seen. It can't really show you what could be, because it's very pigeonholed, as it were, in terms of what it can offer you, whereas your heart and your body can show you more. So I'm trying to get back onto track here, is actually having your direction in life, having your purpose. And everyone's coming into the new year, it's this kind of like, let's set intentions, let's do some new year resolutions, and just be mindful of what those are. Are they coming from a space of love, joy, and peace? How they make you feel, what you desire, really desire? Or are they coming from a perspective of fear, of shoulds, and you should be doing this, or you should be doing that? Really kind of understand and get underneath those layers of what those intentions are. Because should is effectively what I see as a shame word. It holds a high, very low vibration. You're doing something because you think you have to. It's a guilt, it's a shame. And that low vibration has the same frequency as lead. And that lead is very heavy, it's low. I see it very sitting in the base chakra, which is your lower legs, and your skeletal system and your sacral system, which is your reproductive organs, where our creativity and joy should be. Yet if we're doing something because we think we should, we're holding ourselves back. We're making ourselves very leaden. And if you think of the water, you're going to sink, okay? It's not going to go anywhere. So come to a space and give yourself time. Don't rush into things just because everybody else seems to be bloody doing it. Stop that. Just do what is right for you and your timing. This is really, really important, that you're aligning to what you desire, what you're feeling, not what the outside world is doing. You really need to kind of hone in onto that. And that comes from connection to your body. That comes from self-care and practicing to understand yourself better, to get out of this and to get into your heart and into your body. And when you start integrating these regular practices, being in present, being in connection into your body, which a lot of the time, and I have done it, I've avoided because I didn't want to know what it showed me. Subconsciously, I was running away from my subconscious because I feared what it was going to show me. What it did do, it kept me out of my body. It kept me in a higher state of stress, overwhelm, which ultimately does not do you well when it comes to health and well-being. Very kidney energy, very adrenal energy. And as you get to a certain point in life, certainly as women, our adrenals cannot cope with that, especially as our ovaries start to transition from estrogen into our adrenal system. It cannot sustain that production of estrogen and cortisol at the same time, because it creates cancer. So the body stops creating estrogens, which is why we drop off quite quickly. So we really need to understand our stress levels and why we're doing things. And the work that I have done was to connect back into my body, to feel grounded, to really understand who I am, and to trust myself greater. and to know that there's a great power in stillness. So don't rush right now if that's what you're feeling. If you're feeling this wave of great joy and excitement coming through, get on your surfboard, line to what feels great for you and your desire. For joy is the frequency of 520 hertz. It's high, it's 560. It's has much higher vibration, which carries, which is lifting, it's air, it's moves. So in terms of when you're comparing joy and should, you've got lead to air. So things are going to carry, things are going to move, and things are going to continue and have a legacy when you come from more of a joy perspective. So wrapping this up is that this huge wave is coming through. It's a massive change. We can't do anything about it. So we need to really own it. And like if you were surfing, which I've never really surfed, I wasn't very good at it, but the visual of waiting for that wave is coming in now. So get your angle right, get yourself positioned right, get your balance, understand where you're going, and then feel it. And then just allow it to take you. Don't push too much in terms of what you think you need. And the ego coming in, we have to then just come into a space of we've done our work, now let's trust. Just enjoy the ride and see where you end up. And you may end up beyond where you never even thought you could get to. You could never even visualize it. And that's where the magic, that's where the power, that's where the miracles come from. So give yourself time to be more in the moment. Don't jump into rushing into stuff. Just really understand why you're doing things. What is the intention behind it? And is it love or is it fear? And you have to spend some time to really get underneath those layers sometimes, because it doesn't always present itself. And you can only do that when you have time for yourself, when you do meditation, when you go for a walk. For me, being in a bath or being in water is hugely healing to me. It really earths and grounds me. And, you know, water has the capacity to go back to its original form. So they've done lots of studies in water and how it changes form. And we know whether it's love or fear or hate, it changes its symmetry. But it's also shown that it can go back to its natural state. So we are 70% water, roughly. So is the earth, funnily enough. Okay, so we have the capacity to return to our original form, to our higher, purest state, which is love, joy, and peace. All the other shit is just fear, which is humanity has created and has formed our reality, although it's not our truth, if that makes sense. So we have listened to fear and we have created it, because we are manifesting beings. We create what we think and feel. We have created fear and that has become the reality. However, it is not our truth. It's not who we really, really are. So, but we have so many conditioned belief systems and patterns in our mind, in our unconscious body, that we need to heal to get through those layers. And I've talked about that we're breaking free, not breaking down. It may feel like everything's just falling apart, but it's actually you're breaking free. It's like the light coming through the cloud, okay? We're shifting our shite, not losing it, okay? So we are going through a huge transformational journey, but it's recognizing it with an awareness, which becomes your superpower. So if you are aware of why things are happening, why they're doing it, you don't drop into fear, you actually see the opportunities in it, okay? So in terms of self-care practice, I've mentioned it already, keep hydrated, get pure water, get some good purification water, to get really clean water. If you set the intention as you drink that water, you thank it for releasing you from what you no longer need and to give you what you do need. You know, really get intentional with everything that you're doing, with your food, with your water. Look at the cleanliness of your food. Look into more detail what is into that. Even make your food more lovingly. You know, we get so hung up in being so busy that we just, oh, I've got to cook something. And I'm terrible for that. You just try and whip something together because you've just got to get on and eat. Come back into the process of being grateful for that food and where it's come from. Really think about where it's come from, the animal, if you're using meat, the farmers, you know, really get into understanding where everything has come from. And if you're not liking the essence of where it's come from, then you can change that. And, you know, being in nature is so powerful. If you can, it's not really the weather, but, you know, get your feet on the earth. It's probably best, maybe if you don't like the mud, go if it's the sea, you know, really allow yourself to take off your surface, especially rubber shoes. They don't allow us to ground. Get yourself grounded. Epsom salt baths, absolutely amazing thing to do. Meditation, you can join the Pajama Revolution if you're not already on there, that has the meditations to help you really connect into your body and go through the visualization journeys of releasing. Each one is different, each one has a different essence to it. And you know, and forgiveness is really key. Actually, as I start saying that, forgiveness is a part of purification, the detoxification. Is there a part of you now that just needs to let go? Are you still stuck in the past? Are you still angry about something? You know, trauma, it's, you have to go through a process of feeling anger. You can't just skip it. I've tried that, it doesn't work. You've got to honor every emotion. It's like your gut system has to honor every part of that digestion process before you know, you poo it out. You have to, the last release, the forgiveness, your large intestine, is about letting go. And that can only come from discernment, and discernment of what is pure and what is not, what is yours and what is not. Often we take on other stuff that isn't even ours, and the body doesn't know what to do with it because it's not yours or ours. So we have to release that. So again, taking responsibility of others, free will, you know, let go of what worries and stresses. You cannot control other people. So it's, if I say I am not responsible for anybody else's free will, of course you're not. You can't be responsible for somebody else's free will. So really let that sink into you too. And hold that discernment, set the intention right now. As I'm talking here, get your feet grounded, take some breaths, and, you know, bring your hands to your heart. Put my obsidian down before I drop it. Beautifully grounding. Crystals are amazing as well. Just throwing that one in there. So you bring your hands to your heart, your left to first, and your right over, because your left is more closer to your heart. Freshly. And just take some breaths. Just breathe out, sigh, whatever you need to do. Take those breaths. Sink into your hips, sink into your feet. Yet, rather than collapsing your spine, give it some elevation. So I'm just going to readjust myself. And just take some breaths. Don't need to change anything. Feel your hips, feeling your feet. And as you relax, you're relaxing into your glutes, into soles of your feet. Imagine that whole lower part of you just softening like this. This ice cube melting. It's just gently draining out. And you feel really safe, feeling really held, like a beautiful bowl, feeling strong and connected into your hips. And with your breath, you're just breathing into your body, breathing it from your pubic bone from your anus, your coccyx, expanding it into your solar plexus. You might want to now open up your arms, just really just kind of allow the breath to grow into your stomach. Often we can feel so squished here. We also try and hold it in tight because we want that flat belly. Also with emotions, we don't want to deal with them. We're just cramping them tight. So the diaphragm kind of becomes a bit of a pressure cooker, which puts pressure up into the heart and stuff. So anything to do with heart palpitations, indigestion, anxiety will be the tension between the two. So just bring your breath, even just placing your hands gently. I'm just going to bring this camera down here. So just in this point, just there. So like in between the nipple line. Just give it a little massage. This is your sternum. See me out now. That's just released my neck. You can see how much all tension can be held. So you can just massage like that. You can do like a little rub and then up, little rub and then south, little rub east and west. Okay, that's a really good way of trying to help release any tensions. And just do that. If you're starting to breathe into your body and you're finding these little points of tension, just bring your hand to it, bring your awareness into it. See if you can imagine breathing into it, okay? And just do it with compassion. Set it with an intention of being compassionate connection to yourself. You know, this isn't about giving yourself a hard time. Because our bodies are, any pain, any disease, illness, is our bodies trying to communicate back to us, okay? They're trying to show us where we have disconnected from them. It's the same neural pathways as loneliness, pain. So be kind, be compassionate, be more loving, be more acceptance, come with a space of more curiosity of what it will present to you, more objectivity, which you can do that as the more you breathe into your body. Just set an intention of trusting your body that it will release and show you what you need to know at this time with the greatest ease and grace. It's not a game of operation of like, let's just get all this crap out now. This is about going through the layers with gentle ease and grace, okay? So your nervous system, you can cope with that. Otherwise it will feel re-traumatized and just cramp back in again. So go with grace, go with objectivity, and just connect. Just do it with your breath and just hold that space for yourself. And you can just do that by spending 5-10 minutes just breathing, okay? And just holding that quiet space for yourself. Ask what your body needs from you today. What will serve you joy today? Just ask these little questions each day, like little seeds, and these will grow. And it's better than trying to grow everything and it just becomes weeds and you spend your time self weeding all the time. So it's really about just being very clear on the less is more, and sow those seeds that really give you the joy, not because you think you should do it, because you desire it. And that is what's going to continue. That's what will keep growing when you desire, when you hold joy for things. That's when that longevity will happen, okay? Everything else will just fall away. So I hope that's helped. And like I say, drop into the Pajama Revolution, and I will be doing one this Sunday. So we shall see what comes through for that. And equally, if you need support as a one-to-one basis, if you're obviously in my vicinity, my area, then contact me. I am going to be creating a transformational container, which will be 14 weeks, where I really hold space for you to go through this transformation. I've been through it myself. I get it. And, to have somebody that has understood and been through it and knows and can help you, support you through your journey is I think is gold, really. If I'd had somebody holding me through it all and understanding it, it just stops you from going down all the rabbit holes. And but again, that's learning too. So but yes, I'll be creating that very shortly, a 14-week transformational container, which will have all my love to heal materials and meditations as well, but it's combined with one-to-one, so it'll be exceptionally powerful and transformative as well. So yeah, that will be coming through very shortly, and equally I will also be doing a beta launch of the Love to Heal, which will be, I'll probably send out some details later on this week, and this will be about holding a 7-day container to help people just really understand and connect to their body, which is the first step with everything, really. Once you have that more connection into your body, you can start anything from there. You can look at your relationships, you can look at your work, you can look at your health, but first of all, it comes through the connection of your body. So that will be coming out shortly as well. So any of this stuff sounds of interest to you, just contact me, remedialtc@gmail.com. Otherwise, just simply take your time and trust yourself. Okay, lots of love. Thank you for listening.